shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss, you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you and welcome to the Get Wealthy course on Join Up Dots. This is where we are trying to change your mindset, trying to change the way that you think about income and, of course, get wealthy. Now, today's episode is one of those things that is really fundamental if you want to get wealthy, and that's think long term. It's really the essence of wealth and success. So many people focus on short-term gains, quick wins, immediate results, click this button and get £1,000 by the end of the day. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. Fast food, fast fashion, fast decisions. But wealth in its truest form is a long game. The people who accumulate wealth and sustain it are those who've trained themselves to think long term and not short term. It's about patience, it's about perseverance and forward thinking strategies that don't yield immediate results but pay off massively over time. Now, if you're a short-term person, then you are going to be always in the trap of short-term thinking. And what is that? Well, it's just living paycheck to paycheck. It's about spending your bonus on a flashy vacation rather than investing it. It's starting a business and giving up when it doesn't explode with success in the first 6 months. It's focusing on the right now without considering the ripple effects of your actions. And I understand it. I really do understand it. It's incredibly seductive. After all, who doesn't want the immediate thrill of getting what they want right away? But the problem with short-term thinking is that it leads to a cycle of frustration because more often than not, you don't get any further forward. You might get quick wins, but they rarely last. You keep working, hustling, running on the treadmill of life, but never truly getting ahead. Now, if you change this into long-term thinking, it means shifting your focus from what's happening today to where you want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. When I started Join Up Dots 10 years ago, or a bit more than 10 years ago, I knew exactly where I wanted to be in 5 years. Well, I achieved the financial side, but I didn't achieve the sort of lifestyle stuff. That took a little bit longer to get. But now, 10 years down the line, I'm exactly where I want to be. And it's where people look at you and go, you've got the dream life. But it was long-term thinking. It was about understanding that real wealth, and when I say real wealth, it might be free time, it might be money, it might be whatever wealth means to you. And you referenced one of the earlier podcast episodes. Whether it's financial, emotional, or intellectual, it's built slowly. The dots join up. It's the culmination of consistent, smart decisions made over time. They always say, imagine planting a tree. You won't get shade today or tomorrow. In fact, you'll need to water it, care for it, and protect it from storms and pests. But years later, that tree becomes that towering oak, offering comfort, shelter, and strength. That is long-term thinking in action. So let's start breaking it down. What does it really mean to you listening to this podcast? Well, it means investing rather than spending and having a good time. Instead of buying that new phone or going out for that meal with friends or getting theatre tickets on a whim, all of that will either be gone instantly or will depreciate in value. But instead, if you put your money into an index fund, stocks, real estate, buy land, that will grow over time. Also, long term is about building skills and relationships, and we talked about that in looking for the right money mentor and professional help. These are the currencies that never lose value. The skills you build today may not give you a promotion tomorrow, but over the long haul, they position you as indispensable. Avoiding debt traps. Once again, it's so easy to just go, oh, let's go on holiday, let's finance that new car, let's get those concert tickets that I wasn't expecting to get until I saw that they were being released, or take out a loan for a bigger house. But long-term thinking understands that debt accumulates quickly and drains future income. So you've got to delay the gratification, and this is probably the hardest part of thinking long term. It's saying no to immediate wants so you can say yes to bigger dreams down the line. There's so many people through Join Up Dots who contact me, and slowly over a period of time they have built a life which other people will just dream about. But it was so slow. It was so steady. It was day after day of doing things that other people don't see. Wealth built over time is like compounding interest. It just grows exponentially as long as you give it time and nurture it. Now, one of the key elements of thinking long term is understanding the power of compounding. Albert Einstein is believed to have called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. Small, consistent investments, whether in money, skills, or relationships, can yield massive returns in the future. So let's say you invest £100 a month starting at age 25, earning 7% return annually. By the time you're 65, you'll have over $250,000. But if you wait until 35 to start, even if you double your monthly contributions, you end up with about 245,000. That's the magic of time and compound growth. The earlier you start, the better off you'll be. My son has just realized that the money that he's invested is actually paying for his mobile phone. He's now getting a free phone. And so now he's all about trying to get as much money into these accounts as possible so that the daily interest builds up and pays for things that he might have to pay for anyway. Petrol for his car, his mobile phone, as I say. He started earlier, and now he's realizing that there's free money to be had out there, but you've got to make it work for you. And the same logic applies to any area of your life, whether it's learning a new skill, starting a business. The longer you nurture them, the more valuable they become. So it's about patience. Patience is the key to long-term thinking, and you need to be willing to wait, even when the results aren't immediately visible. And as we say, I said it earlier, the problem with modern culture is that we've been conditioned now to expect results fast. We click on a button, we can watch a film, we don't have to do anything. And if we don't see growth or success quickly, we get discouraged and we pivot and we abandon the plan and we move on to the next shiny thing. But the wealthiest people, whether in terms of money, happiness, or fulfillment, are those who understand that good things take time. Patient doesn't mean inactivity, though. It means being active but realistic. You're not just waiting passively for things to happen. You're making steady progress, trusting that time will turn your efforts into tangible rewards. So, what you need to do, you need to start asking yourself, where do I want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? Really get detailed, and then start thinking, what steps can I take today that will move me towards that goal? And what sacrifices am I willing to make in the short term for long-term gain? Ask those 3 questions, and that will really help you project yourself to your future selves, not your current circumstances, but where you want to be. Instead of living in reaction mode, you start planning, executing, and then adapting as needed. So let's break it down into the action plan. Now we've broken down the essence of thinking long term, let's talk about how you can apply the principle to your life. And here's a few things that you can just do. Define your long-term vision, as I just said. Take time to think about where you want to be in 5, 10, and 20 years. And this could be financially, professionally, personally. Write it down and break it down. Now that you have a vision, break it down into smaller, actionable dots. What can you do today, this week, or this month to get closer to that vision? Can you open a cash ISA so you're starting to get tax-free interest on your money? Can you set up a standing order that pays yourself first day of the month, as soon as you get paid, goes off into an account and you can't touch it. Invest in yourself. Whether it's education, skills or relationships, start making investments that will pay off in the long run. And this could mean learning a new skill, networking, or just taking care of your health. But start saving or investing. If you haven't already started, start putting aside a portion of your income towards savings or investments, even if it's just a small amount. It doesn't matter. Don't say, oh, I can't afford it, I haven't got enough. You can afford it. 10, 15, 20 pounds doesn't take a lot. Put it into an account and start getting daily interest on there. And so that capital is building every single day, which means the interest that you're getting is based on the capital and the daily interest. So that's going to be more as well. And avoid short-term temptations. Recognize when you're being lured by short-term gains and remind yourself of your long-term vision. Ask yourself, will this actually help me get closer to my goals, or is it just a distraction? Long-term thinking. We've explored the power of it. Now, what you've got to do, you've got to bring it into your own life, and this is up to you. But if you found this episode valuable, please, of course, share it on social media using the hashtags, hashtag JoinUpDots, and let's spread the message to more people. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback helps us reach more people and continue bringing you valuable content. See you in the next episode as we continue to move you forward to a wealthy, prosperous life. See you later. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots. Join up, join up.